Welcome to the Journey 2020. I'm Charles Morse, happy to be with you here on this Monday, where we come to you every Monday at 7 p.m. right here at www.thejourney2020.com. We're also live on Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook. And the Journey 2020 have been around for, since 2013. The idea originally came from my old co-host, Dr. Robinson of Robinson Associates, and Dr. Robinson and I have been working together for many, many years, and he used to be part of my show from time to time when, depending on the topic, when I had my Teen Summit show that was on Orange TV for a period of about 9 to 10 years. And we have done many things over the radio and so on and so forth. But he came to me back in 2013, and we started, I think it was in that summer. I think it was July or August. And about a year and a half ago, he became extremely busy and said, Charles, you're just going to have to do what you need to do until I have time to come back. So we're wishing Dr. Robinson a time. Well, we're understanding that he's blessed. He moved into a new building, and a lot of good things that's been happening for him. And so with that being said, we do hope that Dr. Robinson will take the time to come back and be part of the show once again with his knowledge and what he brings to the show himself, especially him working in the field that he works in. And I told him he will always be busy. Yes, the clinical world of psychology, sociology, psychiatrists, so on and so forth. You know the story. Anyway, the Journey 2020, as you know, the third Monday of every month, we have Dr. Kathy Meeks. And Dr. Meeks is trying her best right now to, and I see she's trying her best to log on. So we may have to do an interview with her over the phone, which I thought was a very important show today. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. The fourth Monday of every month, we have Haki Nkrumah, who comes to us from Young Fathers of Central Florida. And Young Fathers of Central Florida deals with and help out with several programs, 8 programs within the program of young teen fathers, young as 12 years old. And he try to stay in the age range of young teens till 28, 29-year-olds and try to help them out as best as he can. With that being said, he does a lot of great work here in the area, been around for 10 years plus. And the show is about child custody. Some of the do's, the don'ts, to try to help you out, to deal with a lot of the red tape, to help you understand your rights, to get through your frustration and your anger, to put the best foot forward to make happen what needs to happen, and that is for these young fathers to be able to spend time with their kids. So that's very, very important. So if you don't know, make sure you tell somebody. You may know somebody right now that may be in a custody battle. And actually, it may not even be a battle. Maybe they just don't know what to do or how to make it happen. So with that being said, you can line up your questions, spread the word, let people know that Haki is here on the fourth Monday of every month, right here at www.thejourney2020.com. Also want to remind you, too, on Wednesday night at 11 p.m., I have with me the original Coach Carter, where we are together at www.Youth Central Sports. Write it down, Youth Central Sports. And we talk about sports and a whole lot more. As Coach Carter would say, sports is more than just a game. We try to talk about sports in a manner in which we say that sports can be a very positive thing, a mentoring. It's a way of helping our kids out. It's a way of the village. But it also could be something extremely negative, that if you have your kids in the wrong environment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can catch up with Dr. Kathy Meeks, and I'll be right back right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Abraham Woods, a urologist in Altamont Springs, Florida. Today, I'd like to get you interested in something that you probably never heard of. There is a shot going around, and it's not the flu shot, that's giving rejuvenation and vitality to women. Now, there are times when women laugh, cough, sneeze, and wet themselves. This same shot helps to correct that problem. If you've never heard of it, there's a shot that's now called the O shot. This shot has a lot to do with giving you back your platelets. Plasma that's rich in your platelets has been shown for years to help with revolutionizing your body. Think about Kobe Bryant, an athlete that had knee trouble. Instead of getting the surgery done, he had injection of his platelets. Now, today, we have available in our office a procedure that can take almost 20, no more than 30 minutes of taking your blood, drawing your plasma, and getting your rich platelets so that we give it back to you in a nice, sterile environment under local anesthesia. This is something we need to talk about. Are you interested? Can we get closer? Look at me at centerforurology.org. I'm Dr. Abraham Woods, and I would like to introduce you to something that may revolutionize your orgasms, your ability to have good sex, removing dyspareunia, that is painful intercourse, removing leakage of urine, and making you more sexual and increasing the capacity for you to obtain and receive better orgasms. Check me out, Dr. Abraham Woods at centerforurology.org, and I would like to help you increase your sexual performance and bring rejuvenation to your life.
Okay, I think I have Miss Meeks on the phone. Dr. Meeks, are you with me?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Oh, I think you need to turn that down. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me do this like this. Okay. All right, now, let me see. Is that better? You're going to need to turn the volume down on the computer. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you louder and clear.
Oh. You probably need to move away from your computer. Okay. Okay. All right.
Is that better?
That is better because you have your volume up on the you have the volume up on the computer, and so you're getting feedback. Okay. All right. Again, this is the one and the only Dr. Kathy Meeks. She is what we call our board certified sex therapist. And for whatever reason, we're having some issues and problems with Kathy's computer. I'm not quite sure why Kathy didn't want to sit here in front of me. Why are you avoiding me, Dr. Meeks? What's up with that? You see how simple it would have been if you were sitting here right in front of me right now, and we wouldn't be doing this interview over the phone, that people would see your lovely face, in which I try to tell you that you have such a great complexion that you should be modeling makeup. What's up with that?
You are too funny.
No, but I'm serious. You know what? To me, I think this is a very good show. I really do think that this is a very good show because I told you that I wanted to talk about the topic of jealousy, insecurity, and immaturity when it comes to a relationship, and how that may affect the relationship and to what degree, and how often when you're sitting in sessions do you see that, and you know that is part of the problem. Is that a common thing that you see because there could be misunderstanding, because there's a lot of times there's misunderstanding and a lack of communication. But there's also a lot of times where there's a lot of insecurity and jealousy. Is that a common thing? Is how often is that part of the problem?
We see jealousy very often in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that is usually one of the things, because the couple they're having conflict, so that's why they will seek counseling. So it's very common. But that is the root of the conflict. So that's why they're in counseling.
But I mean, see, it's strange for me because, well, let me ask you something, Israel, because I'm asking you.
Jealous? Hold on. Are you saying jealousy is strange to you?
No. No. I mean, strange as in once you become an adult and you start to mature in life is what I'm saying. And you've chosen this partner is what I'm saying. So if you chose this partner yourself and when it comes to your marriage.
Oh, Lord.
You must still be by your computer.
Yes, I was still by I walked back to my computer.
Right. So you're going to have to turn the volume down on the computer. But I'm asking, what I'm saying is, when you have chosen this person, you supposedly know this person. The jealousy, I mean, I get jealous people because jealousy has a lot to do with a lot of insecurity, a lack of trust of whatever that is. So once you talk about jealousy for a minute, you know, and where that may come from, or what do you find it to be in a lot of the relationship and where it stems from?
Well, hear this. Whenever a person gets married, right, or they're in a relationship, you have to remember that they're bringing their experiences from previous relationships or issues from their family of origin into that relationship. So if they had trust issues previously or there was insecurity, because they're in a relationship now, doesn't mean that they're cured.
Well,
It just means that they're bringing that into the relationship.
Well, I don't necessarily mean cured. That's not what I'm talking about. And the reason why I wanted to ask you to do the show on this topic is because, okay, let me share this with you. Okay, let me.
Well, Charles, can I just say this 1 minute
Okay.
For a second?
Okay.
See, the person with insecurities or trust issues, they may come into that relationship and the partner may be giving them everything to the best of their ability. But those insecurities and those trust issues will manifest because it does not depend on the other person. It's coming from something within them. It's coming from inside of them.
Well,
It's coming from those unresolved issues.
Well, that was why I wanted to do the show, because I was going the reason why is for what you just said, and I'm happy that you said what you just said. And what made me wanted to do the show was a friend of mine who, and I don't know if you remember the show. Remember the show that I asked you to watch, and I did a part 1 and a part 2. And the show was called Why Did I Get Married?
Vaguely.
Right. Well, the show itself, and even now, before I did the show, and even doing the show with her, I even on the show, I did a prayer with her. And even before I did this show, I had to go in prayer because I don't want it myself to come out and be more about my own little flesh and what I bring to the table through my opinion. Okay, because I didn't want that to be displayed or make that the main topic. But what bothered me was I found out that the person was that I had met. I finally had met the husband of this person, and the person, we had been friends. We've been friends for years. We've been friends long before she even met her husband. Okay. So because I know her personally, it's just strange to me that he would be jealous of me. Okay. It's just weird to me. And he has issues with me. Okay, fine. For whatever reason. And I just find it strange because I never even looked at her like that in that sense. I mean, not to say that she's not a nice looking woman or anything like that, but you know, there's people that you meet that you like, but that part of it, when it comes to the attraction, to say that if the opportunity was there to date or something like that, I never saw her like that. I've always seen her as a friend. We get along fine. I can tease, I can joke with her, I can be myself, back and forth. But for myself, she doesn't come across to me that way because I don't see her that way. Now, for him to be so jealous of me, and what bothers me is that, to me, if you know her character, Kathy, if you know her character, that's not even who she is. And it's like he's married to her and don't even know her character. And that is, and see, that bothers me from the standpoint that that's your wife. She's spiritual. She's a good person. But to think that I would be somebody that he would have to worry about in the sense of anything is crazy. So
yeah, but you see, it's not about you and your integrity, and it's not about the character of his wife. It's about this person with his own internal struggles.
yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that too is, how does that play? Because I want to talk about those type of things and how it carries over into intimacy, trust, just being together. Because let me share this with you. There was someone that I dated, right? And this girl was drop dead gorgeous. Pretty girl. Great personality. The girl's smart, got a great job. All these things. And when people see her, know her, they know her as this girl. And Kathy, out of all the girls that I've dated, that sister is one of the most insecure sisters I've ever met in my life. I've had fights, no, and I'm serious. I've had fights and arguments over people that were my friends. I had so many arguments over this girl that I knew that was my friend. Now, the girl liked me, but that was okay, and we've always had a good relationship, but she never crossed the line. I mean, you see what I'm saying? She always was respectful to me and my relationship, but we were just good friends. She had major problems with this girl. And we argued about this girl so much that I got mad at myself that I was friends with the girl. And so I stopped for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. Why am I mad with my friend? Because we always been friends and we good. And then she got mad at me over another friend that I saw at the mall that I hadn't seen in a while, that I went and she knew this person now. But we had been friends long before I met her. We're friends now to this day. And she's going back and forth. We fought about this. And I wouldn't even tell her, and I wouldn't even tell her to this day, that the girl that she was so jealous of, the girl was gay. She didn't even date men. She dated women. You know, but I would never tell her that, because that was none of her business. But because the girl and I are friends, you know, I'm friends with her. I mean, I kind of like mentored her daughter, and we used to take her daughter fishing. So we've been friends for years, right? And so we're going back and forth. She's fighting with me about this. And but what I'm saying is, for myself, it's just mentally and emotionally what that takes out of you, and what's that like, and let alone for it to be your wife. And so what I'm saying from a counseling standpoint, I wanted to ask and talk to you about, is that something that's common? There's something that comes into play. Does people come in for counseling? Does it affect the bedroom? So I wanted to ask you that.
It affects then it affects every facet of that person's life, because the person has low self-esteem, has no confidence in herself, and then what she does is to project that onto you. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything at all, or or your friend has integrity, or that friendship is platonic. It has to do solely with this person who does not place high value on herself. So it goes back to her not knowing her worth. And because she doesn't know her worth, or she has low self-esteem, she just thinks that she is not worthy of your love, and you're going to violate those.
Well, see,
you're not going to be faithful to her.
Well, see,
so that's going.
But see, the funny thing, Kathy, you know what she used to say to me all the time? She used to say this to me all the time. Now, each and every one of us cannot get inside the head of someone else. And you see yourself the way you see yourself, but you don't understand the way other people see you. Okay? Mm-hmm. And she used to always say to me, she used to say, Charles, I'm trying to think how she used to say it. I'm used to dating. I'm not like, she would put me in a different category. The best that I was trying to remember word for word what she used to say, but she used to say it in the best way that I can explain it was a category that she had put me in, and she wasn't used to dating guys that the category that she put me in. She said, I'm used to dating just ordinary guys. And I still to this day have no idea what that means.
So, hold on. So she would date only married guys.
No. She said ordinary.
Ordinary guys.
Right. I'm used to dating ordinary guys. And I'm looking at her, like, what does that mean? I never understood. Like, I'm just a regular old broken down guy, but somehow or another, wherever she put me to this day, I still don't know. And she would always say, I'm just used to dating ordinary guys. And I don't know what that meant. And to this day,
Did you ever ask her? Did you ever ask her what she meant by that?
Because it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't even want to talk about it. And maybe I should have, now looking back on it, because it didn't make sense to me. That was why when she said it, I didn't even elaborate on it, because she used to say it all the time. And when she said it, I just used to kind of like look at her and just go like, like whatever that, and I'm saying to myself, like, whatever that means. But it was, and if you were to see her or know her, you would never think in a million years that this girl was so insecure.
No self-esteem.
Yeah.
No self-esteem. So you have guys like you who will look on the external package.
Oh yeah.
So external package. But you have to have more than that. You have enough to get you through the door, but there's nothing to keep you there.
Because and then the thing is, and then this is the absolute truth, and I'm not lying about this. I dated this girl, and I practically kind of lived with her for like two years, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
you had a lot of patience. You were trying with her.
Woo! Let me tell you this. As God is my witness, I'm not lying. I got thrown out the house at least once a week. I was in her house, and it got so bad, and I'm telling you the truth, that she would ask for her key every week.
But let me ask.
No. Check it out. I finally didn't even keep the key anymore. I just let it stay in the garage. I didn't even keep the key anymore. So when she would ask for the key, I say it's in the garage. And how I would get in and out of the house when I was allowed to come back, I would just use the remote on the garage door. I just push in the code and let the garage door open, and then I come in. I stopped using the key. I didn't even. You know what I'm saying? And and these little fights and arguments, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like you're sitting there and you're frustrated because you're having these little fights over nothing and whatever just going on in their head. And so, like my friend, when she's sitting there, she's telling me that her and her husband has had this long, drawn out argument, and the both of us know that nothing has ever taken place between us. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, how do you deal with this since we both know? But it has to be not just only me in the issue, but what about all the other issues that she's constantly battling with? You know, so it's just, I'm trying to, and then what I think about was when I was talking to her and trying to encourage her to give her a different point of view, because she is a person who, you know how, and when I say this, women who are in love with the idea of being in love, because she is one of those persons. And trying to talk with her and give her a different perspective from his perspective, because when she was talking to me and when what she was telling me, I was trying to say to her, look, he loves you, but he only loves you the way he knows how to love you. And he's trying to tell you he loves you, but you need to come from a different perspective. So now I'm looking at myself and said, I probably, because I was trying to encourage her from a different perspective. So now I'm a little mad at myself for trying to get her to see his perspective. Because I was trying to be on his side.
Yeah. But again, I'm going to go back to your situation with that girl. You stayed with her for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask you this, what about you that caused you to stay with somebody like that, who is constantly throwing you out of their house, asking you to leave for something that you're not doing?
What really tied me to her was she was spiritual. That is what I enjoyed about her.
So she was spiritual. She was a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
So I would ask her, so how does the scripture that says God has not given you a spirit of fear, but one of love, power, and a sound mind?
Right.
How does she interpret that? Because you could actually use scripture to help her and say, listen, I know that I'm not doing anything to cause you to be jealous. So, because I know my worth and I know that my intentions, I'm sincere about you, I would suggest you go and you look at why you're behaving the way you are. And then when you have done that, you can come back and give me a call. But I am not going to subject myself to that behavior, because at a minimum, we deserve peace. You know, we should keep peace.
Well, the other part of that too was our relationship had came to a place where we were kind of separate from each other in that sense. And I don't, not to really go into it, but
Kind of separate. What do you mean separate?
well, like for an example, most of the time, at special like the latter part of well, I won't get into it, but
the latter part of your relationship, yeah,
we were really separate, even though I was there.
Oh, so you were no longer in an intimate relationship with her?
Not really. So it had more to do with where she was spiritually. And as a matter of fact, the church that I'm at today, she introduced me to my pastor. So I've been at that church now for 14 years. Mm-hmm. And so the one thing that I did like about her was that I could go to her and she knew the Bible very well. But the other part of that, what I'm not telling is I felt that I was there to help her as well.
Okay.
Because I felt that I knew that most guys that dealt with her wouldn't get her And
So
so,
you felt you were an assignment.
kind
He
of,
was your assignment.
right,
Oh, okay.
right. And then,
Did you-
then the other part too was that she had issues with her mom.
Well,
No, hold on,
goes
wait a minute.
back to self-worth.
Right.
No,
So,
but that goes back to self-worth, family of origin issues.
right.
That she
So,
was good.
right. So she had serious issues with her mom, and we would sit and talk. And to be honest, it was nice to see the growth and how she grew to have a better relationship with her mom. And not that I pat myself on the back for that, but it was really gratifying to see that relationship grow from where when I first met her to where they were to where she finally got to see her mother and herself in a different perspective.
Okay.
So
So maybe you were not called in her life to be a romantic partner.
true.
You were sent to just help her to resolve some issues.
Right. And then,
And then you guys kind of tainted it by, making it into something romantic.
and then, well, the other part of that too, Kathy, was that when I was introduced to the church, see, the thing is that she knew that she had issues. She she knew she had issues, and even when she tried to go to the pastor, and the pastor didn't share certain things with me, I just went to the pastor myself and tried to have a conversation with the pastor about her because I knew that she had some stuff. And when I said what I said, he said, oh, now I see why when she starts talking to me, she just starts crying. And then because when he said that, that made sense to me because she was one of these persons who was a very nice person, except for when she became angry. And when she became angry, Kathy, that sister became somebody else.
Okay,
And
so, the one thing you need to know about anger is that it's a secondary emotion. So usually it's something that's driving the intensity of the anger. So
okay,
it goes back to some unresolved issues because if she's getting to the point where she is evolving or devolving, whichever way you want to look at it, into something else,
well, that's why I
or
got
into someone else.
what I'm saying. That's why I got kicked out all the time because she would become so angry that her whole personality would change. She would
Yeah.
become somebody else. So it's not like you can sit and have a discussion with her. It's almost like, who am I talking to now? And she would become like this person that you didn't want to be around. She was nasty and mean. It's just like wow. So it's just like, okay. But as long as she wasn't angry, she was a sweet person. But once that she became a lieutenant in Satan's army.
So hear this. This is what I'm saying with this person. So what this means is that this person experienced some trauma that affected her.
Okay.
So whatever it is that triggers her, maybe it gets to the point where she unconsciously starts experiencing that trauma.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Because trauma, it has to be something, some deep-seated issue, which most likely is trauma. And when she gets to that point where she gets angry, there is some form of disassociation where she becomes another person. Not disassociate as D-I-D, but she gets so angry that she is unrecognizable. It's something to do with her past, so you can't fix that in a relationship. She has to work on that on an individual basis.
Well, I think that's why she was going to the pastor because
The pastor can't deal with that.
no, no. What I'm saying is, I think she recognized that she had a problem, and that's why she was going to the pastor. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying because even when we were breaking up, she said to me, well, I hope you can help me know how to be better in my next relationship. This was when we was breaking up and when she was really nasty. I mean, it was just like, wow. And so through her anger, and I'm saying that's why I got kicked out all the time. She just becomes this angry and this person. And so now when she would calm down, when I'm about, and this is her because I knew her, she would call me on the phone because she didn't know how to say she was sorry. Her words would be, she would say, hey, this is after I done left. This is about 20 minutes later. She'll call and the voice would now be, hey, and I go, hello. And now it's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm going home. Why? That's a way of saying, come back. Because now she's no longer angry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So long as she wasn't angry, she was a nice person. But when that sister got, oh man, it's just like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. Yeah. Anger is secondary. It's usually something happened to her somewhere. And pastoral counseling doesn't help that.
Okay.
You have to go to a counselor. They treat you with something like brain spotting or EMDR or cognitive behavioral therapy to understand what emotion that underlies that anger and help her to work through it. Then this person is really will not be in a relationship and be very happy because she has those unresolved issues. So someone like that, I don't care how beautiful she is, she doesn't have a whole lot to offer. She has to work through those issues before she gets into a relationship.
Well, and I don't want to talk about her in a negative way in that sense, but Kath, no, hold on. No, let me tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. And because I'm going to share something with you, but I'm saying I'm sharing this, but I'm saying that I don't want to talk about negatively, but I'll share this with you. Her ex-husband, I used to work and we did some things with her ex-husband's best friend. Now, one of my best friends was friends with him, and her ex-husband friend was a very nice guy. And we did some stuff together on TV and so on and so forth. So he was with one of my best friends one day and they were discussing my relationship. And her ex-husband best friend told my best friend, tell your friend that such and such is crazy. So, right. So, but he wasn't trying to be, it wasn't a gossip thing. He was trying to say from one brother to another, man, he was trying to say, you got your hands full, brother. That's what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. He was trying to say, you got your hands full. Be careful. That's what and it wasn't like he was trying to talk behind her back or say something. He was just trying to say, hey, man, be careful. You got your hands full. You got your hands full with this one. And so when my friend came back and told me, he said, hey, man, such and such say, you got your hands full, man. Basically, that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah. And, have a lot of, I kind of understand what she was going through, and I just wish if she was able to get the help, because she could be a very good woman once she, gets those situations under control, her behavior and emotions under control. But when the people she was associating with couldn't guide her to the right people to help her, for example, she was going to her pastor. She needed a professional counselor to help her, a psychologist, mental health counselor, and they would be able to help her and, just help her understand. I have great compassion for people like that because they do not understand why they do the things that they do. And there is help out there for them because they enter these relationships. And that's why you have so many men and women.
Right.
They keep going from relationship to relationship to relationship and they keep ending the same way. And then, you hear some women, they're talking about, oh, all men are dogs, or the men keep saying these women are no good, they're gold diggers, and they're not looking at themselves. Because what am I doing? Is there something that I need to do? And they go and take the time and work on themselves. Then they can go into that relationship mentally healthy.
Well,
then you can have great sex. But having those issues, there is no great sex.
wow. Well, see, like for an example, originally, when I wanted to talk about my friend, and just thinking in general, when you just said what you said, like for myself, when you constantly have to deal with insecurity, when you constantly have to deal with immaturity, when you constantly, it has to wear on you. It's just like you're kind of like boxed in a cage. And so, for myself, I'm serious. I used to, because early on when I liked this girl, and I'm sitting there and I'm having these arguments over nothing. And I'm sitting there, and it's almost like it's almost like you can't believe you even having the conversation, to the point that it got so bad that I'm sitting there. I got where I'm like, I'm mad because I'm friends with the girl we arguing about. I'm like, no, I'm mad, which was so stupid, because you don't want to be sitting there spending all this energy on nothing. And it becomes so frustrating, and it's like you just want to shake them, be like, what's wrong with you?
And then, what my response is to that? Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and you get it back. Once you waste time, that time is gone. And if we care about someone and we see them exhibiting certain behaviors that is not our normal, that's when we have to take a stand and say, there's something going on here. I am not going to give energy to this, but you need to take a closer look at that. But I think, too, some people are just so afraid of being alone. They think they have to be in a relationship. So I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about in general.
Right.
So they subject themselves to these toxic environments with these partners. And it's just not helpful. It's just not productive just to say you're in a relationship. You're better off spending that time trying to mentor a child or trying to do something rather than engage in these relationships. Or at least if you really love that person or you're really attracted to this person, you see the character of this person, but you just know that this person has a problem, then that's when you say, listen, I love you. I care about you. But right now, this behavior is not going to work for me. So I am going to suggest you do this. And then when you have done that, if you need my help to work on this, to get you there, I will do that. But I will not subject myself to this kind of behavior. Because, I get so tired of men and women complaining about no good men and no good women. And I think what is happening is that men and women in particular, do not know their currency. When you know what you're worth, you can demand a certain behavior. And if you're not getting that behavior, there's nothing wrong with being by yourself until the right person shows up.
Well, see, the thing is that you just said, a lot, and which is so true. And Kathy, I can sit and I can go over phases of my life. Okay, because I can go back to when I was 18. I can go back to when I was 25. I can go back to when I was 27, and the mindset. And so when you're 18, you think like an 18-year-old. And so, yeah. Right. And so when you get older, you really realize how brain damaged you were.
Yeah.
But you were 18. And and so it's like, you know, you're having a child and you trying to tell your daughter or your son about a relationship when they're 19, 20, 21, 22, and they think that they know, and you know that they don't know, but that's life. You know, that's how that works. And you have to just give them the best advice that you can, because they have to live it. But that's what life is. You live and you learn. And so, and so I can remember, and I'll just be open and honest with you. My thing that I had to learn, and my lack of immaturity, was the manipulation. Okay. My thing was to try to manipulate you. Okay. And so now I didn't mind, like, let me see the best way that I can say this. Like, for example, my ego was like this right here. This is the kind of ego that I had. Like, I was living with a girlfriend. I was living with my girlfriend when I was in college, right? But I had a girlfriend on college campus. Okay. So I'm living with my girlfriend, but I got a girlfriend on college campus. Now, my girlfriend on college campus was seeing another guy. Now, the thing with me was, I didn't mind her seeing the other guy, because to me, myself, there was nothing that I could say to her because I was living with my girlfriend. But the problem that I had was, and the ego part was, if she tried to lie to me about what she was doing. And so my ego had to let her know, I already know what you're thinking, already know what you're doing. I'm already 2 steps ahead of you.
So you were mind reading.
Well, no. My thing is that I wanted her to know that I know what she was doing. You can't lie to me. See, that was my thing. See, it's not what she was doing, it's what she was telling me is what I had a problem with. Okay. So that is what I had the problem with, because I wanted her to know, my ego now wanted her to know, look, I'm already 2 steps ahead of you, girl. So you know what. But that was where I was. So the ego itself, especially when it comes to men, and you know how we are egotistically, and some of us carry it to the point where we just straight stupid, you know. So,
yeah, it's stupid. I agree. But can I say that women contribute to your stupidity?
well, yeah. Because, and actually, you know what? I can remember, and as God is my witness, I'm telling you the truth. I can remember when I was 16, 17, and 18 years old, Kathy. And I can remember saying something to some women sometimes. And when I say it, I would look at them and say to myself, you fell for that? Oh, darn. Okay. It's like, wow.
And this is what I'm saying again, that sometimes women don't know their currency. And they expect, and they allow men to come to them and just tell them what kind of nonsense. Or they see a man running around with all these different women, and the more women, it's almost as if the more women this woman will see the man running around with, the more desirable they are. And my thing is, the same way a man is looking for a woman with character, the woman should also be looking for character in the man. Because for me as a woman, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
And I wish if women would do this. Why, if the woman is looking for something special in her life, why would you want a man who is taking his penis and dipping it into every vagina? That is common. When something is common, their value goes down. So I wish if more women would look at it and say, hey, if this man is running around with all these different women, I don't want him because he is common.
Now, what I was going to say, and I didn't want to, cut you off, but what I was going to say was, no. What I was going to say was, to me, myself, in my life experience is that there are phases that you go through in life because and you know this, and I think we've talked about it, and you probably know this for yourself. But in life, as you start to mature, when you learn what you learn growing up as a child, becoming a teen, and then as you start to grow up in life, there are so many things that you have to unlearn. But in the things that I did in my life, I did them because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and that.
Were cool.
No, well, it has nothing to do with being cool, Kathy. It had to do with this is how I know life. This is what I knew life to be. Like, for an example, the things that you would do in order for you to get from point A to point B, right? So you find out, well, if this right here worked, then this is what I'll do. I can remember this one girl, Kathy. She came into my life. And see, I'm only going to share this with you. See, the people out there that's watching on Twitter and Facebook, they're really not paying attention. So I'm only going to share this with you. Nobody else in the world going to know about this, even though I'm on YouTube. And this is
just between you and I.
Right. This is just between us two. All right. Don't you tell nobody this story I'm telling you right now. All right.
No, never.
Right.
I'll take it to my grave.
Right. There you go. Okay. Now. Okay, this girl came into my life, and it was like a really sad time. I was really broken, though, right? And so I was going through a lot. So emotionally and I was just broken down. And so I was at a point where I was just really broken. But she came and she was there. And so she saw tears in my eyes, right? And from time to time. But then I saw that those tears was a way that I can become intimate with her, right? So guess what? Every time she saw me, hey, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Every time she saw me, I was like, every time she saw me, right? Because that, led to what, right? Until one day she said, what? She come in the door. So, till one day, this is what she said to me. Right? You know what she said to me?
What?
She said, "You the weakest man that I ever met."
I was going to comment on that.
But guess what? Guess what?
What?
After that day, she never saw another tear in my life.
And you know something? That is beautiful.
Right. Why? Cause she went to my manhood.
Yeah.
Right. She went to my manhood, because the only thing at that point, after that time had passed, and when I saw that this was part of the manipulation. So I'm like,
yeah, because there was a payoff for you.
right.
There was a payoff.
Yes.
You get the nurturing, you get the loving, you get
Right.
that.
But
and the first time, that's okay. You want a woman who's going to be present
right.
with you.
Right.
And, walk with you through whatever it is you're going through. But after that, it's like, something cut the crap.
Right.
You're a man.
Right. Exactly. And the day she said, the day she said that to me, she went to my manhood. She never saw it again ever. And then I also found out that I didn't need to cry anymore either, because now she was calling me. You gonna come see me?
Right.
Yeah. But hey, don't you tell nobody that story.
Oh no, I would never. I'll take it to my grave. That's just between you and I.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the length that men will go through, and women enable them. They enable them because they're so insecure, and they think they have some of these men. They think they gotta got to have a woman. For heaven's sake, work on yourself. You know, so that you're bringing something to the relationship so you can build each other up.
Right.
You know, when you see the man, you know, running around with a, send him packing. He's common. Everybody knows what he's got. There's nothing special about it. And I wish if some of these women would start standing up and say the same to these men. There's nothing special about you because you're common. You keep, everybody knows what you got. I'm looking for someone that who is special, who values who they are as a person.
But
men and women need to know their worth and value. I guess that's what I'm saying.
But Kathy, that is life lessons, though. You have to go through something in order for you to understand something, and everything you just said is true.
Listen, and I wish if parents would start teaching their children these things so that they can grow up with a healthy self-esteem.
Right.
Because when they have healthy self-esteem, they're not going to fall for all this crap.
Well, I did because I do I do a youth summit every year. Mm-hmm. I think coming up this year will be my 16th year. And I did a workshop because the teen summit, I do a workshop for boys, girls, and parents, and then we all come together for one workshop. And so one of the workshops that I did was if you lift the bar, they would lift their pants. And that means that if you really said, you know what, I'm not going to date you with sagging pants. If women really understood their power, all these young men that you see with these sagging pants, they wouldn't be sagging. Trust me.
Right.
But these women think that is cool. These young girls think it's cool. You know, but the point of it was just to emphasize the power that they have, and that how they really should have more self-esteem and to understand the position that they sit in, because they really don't. Or even women that are in their 50s and 60s, they still don't understand. Because, you know, you try to explain to them, you get anything you want from a man if you know how to touch his heart, but they don't even know what that means. And Kathy, the other thing too, for somebody like my friend who is trying to be obedient to her husband, and see, men will throw this out there in a minute. See, they will throw this out, and women, I'm telling you, men, the ones that are married, and they will throw out about how they should be obedient to their husband, so on and so forth, because, you know, they like to throw out scripture and what does the Bible say? But then if you're following, and I'm saying if you're a woman, if you're following somebody that is not holy, if you're following somebody that's not into God's word, then what are you following? How the heck are you going to be talking about you want to be led by him and you listening to him? So, yeah, right. What are you submitting to? So it's like he can't throw that on you. You can't have that guilt trip. Because that's crazy, because where he's leading you, he's not someone of faith. He's not someone of God. He's just throwing something out there from the scripture to try to control and manipulate you for his own good. Yeah. Doing the ego, you know, he's basically, Satan's work. So, yeah. So women need to be mindful of that, because they get caught up in that. You know, they get caught up in this, like, who are you following? Who are you following? Exactly. It's like, why you want to follow somebody that's going to lead you into a burning building? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. But they'll throw that on them in a minute, and then they'll start to feel guilty. Well, yeah, you are my husband. Yeah, well, your husband leading you down a path of destruction. You know, and you know, and you know it. You know that he's not biblically sound. You know he don't go to church. You know y'all don't pray together. You know, and so on and so forth. But, well, you know, this is what he said. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What are you submitting to? You know, I said, don't submit to no foolishness. know, because that's foolishness. How can you? How can you? And again, I don't know, I think we as parents need to do a better job training both men and women so that men can have a standard. And women should have standards too. But, you know, more so in the society that we're living in, I think some of our women enable men in bad behavior because they don't know their currency.
Well, we never did really talk about how that leads to good or bad in the bedroom. We never did really talk about that as far as
Never did.
you know.
And again, another point I'm thinking to myself: if men respect themselves, they won't want to sleep around with just about everybody either. They're going to think so much of themselves that they're not going to settle for just about anything.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, let me help you. Let me help you. Men don't process things that way.
I didn't think I needed any help. But
No. Let me help you. Men processes don't work that way. It takes a very mature man to get to that point of understanding what you just said, because we don't process stuff that way. It's the total opposite.
No, I will say that men tend to have a different belief system. However, if certain principles are taught to them at an early age, then they can grow up.
Well, right. No. See, Kathy, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm trying to say to you is men process things differently. And so our mature level
that's true, I know.
is different, because and you doing what you do and knowing what you know, part of us and our recognition of who we are and how we look at ourselves is based on all the things that we shouldn't be doing. Okay? And that's what I meant by if women really understood the power. And this is what and we can kind of close, and because we can pick up on this, but this is something that I try to convey. Okay? And that is this right here. My existence and who I am and who God made me was a sincere purpose to be here, to be with you. Okay? Which is to be with you and to have my family. To serve, provide, protect. Okay? So, how I look at myself, how I judge myself, and who I am to myself comes from your eyes, comes from the feedback I get from you. My sheer existence and how I feel about myself as a man, defining myself and my purpose in which God put me here, goes back to when I look in your eyes, who do I see and what do I see? That's very, 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 very important. And a lot of women don't understand that.
We're kind of out of time, so I won't elaborate on
that. Yeah, that's what I said. I said we can talk about it next show. Okay? Okay? So, I would love to talk about it next show, but I still want to talk about what we talked about, what it leads to in the bedroom, because I'll ask you the question right here. Everything that we just talked about may mean absolutely nothing. You know why? Kathy?
Why? Go ahead.
Because the sex just might be great, so everything else goes out the window.
You know something? The sexual act of performance is great, but intimacy is a whole other thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because something, because a man is able to ejaculate and a woman will experience an orgasm, does not mean that the sex is great.
But see, let me say this right here. No. Let me no. I'm going to confirm what you just said. No, seriously. I'm going to basically what you just said. Because if a man does not really understand the makeup of a woman and how God made her and what she really looks for and what she really needs, then he will miss that. He will focus on that part and the part in which what the woman really needs. Then that's when it really starts to have the wear and the tear. Because if you just focus on the physical part and what you just said, and if you just recognize that is that only, and now I'm a man, then you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that doesn't mean, because, a lot of, you have so many dysfunctions that come into play, and, that could be resolved if these people have intimate connections with each other. So they're not being resolved. The man gets the direct penis and he ejaculates and he thinks he's having sex. The woman can't experience an orgasm. And the woman is thinking that it's the man who is supposed to make her have an orgasm. So they're engaged in these encounters and there's not a darn thing happening. There is no sex. There's no satisfaction. It's just a lot of performance. You know what I mean? So, so the low self-confidence and the low self-esteem and all that contributes to, I'm going to call it bad sex.
Okay.
Or say the sex is not satisfying. So yes, all those things that we talked about earlier does impact what happens in the bedroom.
Okay. Well, this is the one, the only, the true Miss Kathy Meeks, our sex therapist. She comes to us on the third Monday of every month. And now, Kathy, now you got to promise that little secret that I shared with you, you can't tell anybody. Okay, you can't tell anybody that I was. Okay.
My lips are sealed.
Hey, it worked for a while until that sister said, "You the weakest man I ever met." Boom. Oh boy, she went straight to the male ego then and be like, "What? Wait. What?" But we're gonna have a part 2. By the way, do have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Hope all is well, in your world. But, I will be talking to you. So I'm looking forward to next month because there is a part 2. And I still would like to know even more so what we really didn't get to was the bedroom. So with that being said, don't you tell anybody my little secret I told you.
Yeah, and we will follow up next month with Charles' favorite subject, the bedroom.
Well, hopefully you will be here. So we don't have to do it over the phone.
I'm planning to.
Or we can fix that little problem that you have with your laptop. So we will.
Yeah, I'll be there in person hopefully next month.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Dr. Woods?
I have not been able to catch up with him, but I will. Dr. Woods is my urologist. He's a great guy, and as you saw on the spot before, for those, please research the P shot and the O shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but we can talk about that too. We're going to have him come on the show and you come on the show and we can talk about that as well.
All right.
All right.
Merry Christmas to all your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, we love ourselves some sex therapists, some Dr. Kathy Meeks. We love ourselves some Dr. Meeks, don't we, people?
All right.
Great attitude. With that being said, everyone, want to thank you so very much for tuning in to the Journey 2020, where we come to you every Monday at 7 p.m. And again, the third Monday of every month, we have the original Dr. Kathy Meeks. She's our sex therapist, and you can tell that she has a great attitude, have a lot of fun, and I can confide in her because I know she won't share my secrets. You know what I'm saying?
You got it, baby.
I'm Charles Morrison. Just say, enjoy the rest of your week. You be blessed.